Hello. This week's self-care topic is decluttering. So, for those of you who have a cluttered space, I totally understand. Things accumulate over time and it feels overwhelming because there's just so much everywhere. Many times, our spaces get cluttered for various reasons. One is that we have a hard time getting rid of things, even if they're broken, even if they're no longer of use. We just want to hold on. Another thing is we continue to purchase impulsively at times. If we feel sad or depressed and we feel purchasing things gives us a little bit of an energy boost, we continue to buy more things and they take up more space. And we may never use some of these things that we buy. But we don't buy these things because we need them. A lot of times we buy them because it just feels good to buy things. As I've mentioned in other videos, sometimes we do impulsive purchases just to help us feel better. It is a form of escapism. So we end up with a place that is completely cluttered and it feels so stressful. Sometimes we can't find anything. And so for those of you who are interested in decluttering your space, I do have some tips that will help you. One of the things I recommend before you do anything else is to put yourself in the right mindset. If you are stressed out when you are decluttering, then it's not really going to be helpful. So if you have a friend who has a calm and soothing personality that you can invite over to spend a little bit of time with you while you declutter, that could be helpful. Another calming agent can be soft, spiritual music. That calming effect can put you in the right mood to do the decluttering. Another thing you can do is use incense or candles or use a spray that smells really good and helps to calm you down. That will help so that you can start your process and not be so stressed out. The first thing I like to start with when I declutter or help other people declutter is I get rid of as many large and bulky items as possible first. The reason is that this opens up more space. So if you look through each room and you find some large items that are broken, no longer of use, etc., you can either throw them away or donate them. And that will definitely open up more space. And you see that even as you get rid of just a few large, bulky items, the energy in the environment there in your home does change. Another thing I recommend is starting with just a little bit at a time. You don't have to declutter in 1 week or 1 month or even in a year if you don't want to. You can just make a commitment to get rid of one thing per day, whatever that thing may be. So if you have a cup that's broken that you really haven't been wanting to get rid of, well, you can just get rid of that. And then the next week, get rid of another object that you're not using or is broken. There is an expression that a journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. And I definitely agree to that approach. So again, if you just commit to one thing a day, in a year, you get rid of 365 things. It's a bonus if you get rid of large things, one thing at a time, and then work your way down to medium-sized things and then smaller things. You will probably see results faster, as I said, if you get rid of the big stuff first. Another thing you can do is commit to getting rid of one box at a time per week. Instead of thinking about this daily, maybe this is too stressful. Okay, so you can have a box of whatever size you feel is appropriate and commit to filling that box up with things that you either take to give away or that you take to the trash. The most helpful thing for some people is to find an accountability partner. When I declutter, I don't necessarily need an accountability partner, but I know people who like to have accountability partners. So that person can call you every week or every month or whatever frequency is appropriate for you, and check in just to make sure that you're keeping up with your goals. And this is not about perfectionism. Sometimes things happen in life and you don't have time for a few days or maybe a couple of weeks to stay on track with your goal. But the general idea is to stay on track most of the time as much as possible. If nobody is available to keep you company while you declutter, you could have your friend on the phone, on speaker while you do the decluttering. Because even if that person isn't present, the mere fact that you're connecting with that person through telephone is still helpful in having some company while you declutter your space. If you know anybody who's a Reiki master or does other form of energy work, you could also ask that person to be present while you declutter or to do long distance energy work while you're decluttering. That will also help you stay calm. I use something called the stacking method when I'm decluttering. Sometimes there are things that I don't necessarily have to give away, but that I just have to organize better. So I try to stack things efficiently where possible. I use boxes and organizers so that I can get more out of each space. You'll find that the decluttering project is worth your time. It is okay to take breaks when necessary, and sometimes you might have to take longer breaks. But in the long term, you will find that the energy in your home space changes. You do feel lighter, you do feel a bit more elevated each time as the clutter diminishes. One final point is that it's okay to ask for help. If you feel completely stuck and you just don't even know where to begin, or maybe you know where to begin, but you just can't get yourself motivated, you can have a friend just be with you and in person come knocking on your door and just literally be with you and say, okay, let me walk with you through this process, or they can just give you some suggestions if that's what you need. As a reminder, self-care requires a positive mindset. I invite you to read the 3 affirmations below from last week and pause as long as necessary to let them sink in. Repetition is important to allow them to become a part of our consciousness. I am worthy of receiving the best self-care. My self-care is a high priority to me. I give myself a high level of self-care. I hope that this week's self-care topic on decluttering has been helpful. If you know anyone who can benefit from this information, please feel free to share this video. I send you light, love, and blessings. Thank you for tuning in this week.
Hi, my name is Rosalinda Martinez. I'm a retreat leader at Empowerment Light. If you'd like to get connected with more tools and resources to help you on your journey, please see my website in the description section. As always, like and subscribe if you like this video. Look forward to a new video every Tuesday.